Hi, Professor Lake. This is Richard. I wanted to do a short orientation to some of the tasks that you will be required to do as a visiting professor, clinical instructor. Um, let's see. So I try to keep this as simple as possible. Don't want to bore you to death. But truly thank you for working with us this semester. Hopefully, it will go well enough to where you will continue to work with us. So let me go ahead. I'm not sure if you've been shown anything at all, but I guess I can start at our Chicklet webpage in order to get you started on accessing the Canvas. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So we do work out of Canvas. It's a form of a blackboard, if you will. Um, Fairly intuitive system, but let me go ahead and start sharing it first. It'd be better if I can show you what I'm doing as opposed to uh, trying to explain it. All right. Um, so hopefully you can see my screen here. This is our Okta site. It is a site where we're able to do a variety of things. We can access, for example, Canvas here. You can access the attendance here. This is where you can access Outlook, of course. Sometimes you may want to communicate with us, at least, a faculty, via Outlook. Um, let's see what else. There's a lot of other Word or Office products that you can access here as well. There's human resources, of course. There's just a variety of things to do. If you want to check your paycheck, those types of things. Let's go ahead and first start off with actually. So this will be in no particular order, but let's go ahead and start off with the attendance. So what you'll do is you'll go here to CU/DSAMS. You click on it. All right. All right. And what you will do is to find your students, they should populate in your name at some point, hopefully. But you click on My Classes. And right now it's not showing anything, but typically what it will show is something like this. I'll go ahead and click on, let's see. Well, actually, it didn't show me anything, but uh, I guess everything has been submitted. Well, anyway, so your students will show up here, right? And I wish there was a way I can actually show you what it would look like when it's active. It's 12:04 now, so it might not have loaded my students yet. I thought if I click on all submitted that it would show me an example of what has been submitted. But anyway, so once you get here, your students will populate here. You'll click on there's an icon. I cannot remember what it says at the moment, but there's an icon here where you can click on, and then what you want to do is there will be a check mark or something next to the student's name. Well, there will be a main one up here at the top. When you click on it, it will show everyone that is in attendance, that they're present. But then if you need to click on any particular student because they were not there, then you click on that student in particular. And over to the right, there will be a way that you can enter a comment about that. Student has COVID or whatever the reason is. And again, my apologies that I can't actually show you. Maybe that'll show me something. Well, no, it doesn't. If you want to look at what another um, person has on their attendance, maybe look up another professor. You can click here, and let's see. So I'm gonna type in, let's see, Kim Silva. Silver. No, that's not it. Just kind of just when you click on to the little search box here. I was trying to look up one of our instructors because maybe she might have something. Let's see, Haggy, maybe Terry Haggy. He's another instructor, and somehow. Oh no, maybe that's a Y. That's not showing up. All right, let me do it this way. Terry uh Haggy. Yeah, there it is. Oh, it's one G. If you click on it, so it still doesn't show you anything. But you can search any professor to see their attendance if you need to. I thought I would be able to pull up something in their name, but apparently not. But anyway, the more important thing here is this is how you would look up your students. You click on my classes, and then your students should populate here on the day that you do have clinical. And then you can go ahead and, of course, um, make sure you um, make them a present, if you will. So that's that one. And if you need any more instructions on that, just let me know. Now, sometimes what they would do is on the weeks that you're not in clinical, they may populate anyway. And so all we do with those is we just cancel them. There's a way to cancel them as well. Since we'll be going to clinical weekly, let's see, you'll have someone on Wednesday along with me, and then it'll be, I want to say the next Wednesday. So you should have clinical every week, Monday, excuse me, the first week, second and third week, and then any subsequent weeks. I think you have of course, a simulation to do. Other than that, you may just have to go in and cancel one of the days where there's no clinical, there's no simulation as well. So just keep that in mind. So let me go back out here to this is what we call again our chicklets. And so if I want to go into Canvas, this is Canvas. And let me show you how, and you probably know this already, so forgive me if you do. But these are the students. This is Nursing 341, and our CRN number is 61605. So that's our group. These are just some previous groups here and some other stuff, but your focus will be here. Now, you can go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you into the Canvas environment. And as you can see here, there's different options here, right? And so let's say if you want to email someone, you click on Inbox, if you want to email your group, and click on Compose a new message, which is here. It has a little pen and a paper, I suppose. You click on it. And so where it says course, you'll click on that. And then you come down to favorite courses. Now, I'm not sure which one of mine's yet because I seem to keep clicking on the wrong one. So it might be the second one. This is Dr. Hernandez here. I think this is ours here. Anything that says Weaver, but it might be this first one. If you click on it, and the way you know is if you click on this section here and you click on students, it will show you the students in our class. And Enoch is in our class. So this would be the one you would click on. It's that second one from the top. All right. And so you can click on, well, if you click on all in students, then you will be emailing everyone in that group. But let's just say, and I'm not sure right off who's in your group, but I'm not looking at it at this point. But let's say you click on a student, and let's say Enoch is in your group. So you click on him, and then you come back here again. Let's say if Alexa Davis is in your group, you click on that one. And let's say if Dix is in your group, you click on that one. And let's just do another one. Gabriela Estrada. Let's say if that one is in your group, you click on that one. And then of course you do your subject. I'll just say test. And then, of course, you do your little test here, right? You type your message, and then you go ahead and you click send. All right. And that'll email specific students. All right. Typically, I use the other function where I'm looking at all the students, so I send it to the whole group. But in your case, you can just look for whoever. Now, sometimes if you click here and you know the student's last name, like let's say if I click on Dix again, it'll bring up Catherine Dix if I just start typing it, and then you can click on that. Of course, it's already there, but let's just say if it wasn't there and you knew their last name or how to spell it, you can just click on that and you're good. It'll bring that up. I'll just click out of that. And by the way, after you go through all that, as far as who you're sending it to, you can actually do um, a virtual message as well, like a video recorder if you want. Um, that's up to you, but I would think that in most cases, you'll probably just be sending a written message. You can also attach information here too. Whatever you have on your desktop, you can attach it and you can send it here as well. So that's kind of the basic function of emails. So I'm going to go back now, back to the home, well, not necessarily home, but where I have all the different options. If you click here on people, this will tell you about the different D numbers that are associated with a student. Like Mr. Enoch, that's his D number there, all right? So you can see when their last activity was as well, that kind of thing. Just kind of scroll down and you'll see all the different students and their D numbers. The D numbers are very important as well for various reasons, but it just basically helps to identify the patients, the students. All right, and so the most important thing, of course, well, before I go there, I was going to go to grades, but let's go to files. So if you go to files, and let's say if you want to look at your clinical schedule for July and August 2022, you'll click on it, and you still have to click on this little blue download button here, and it'll begin to download. I may have to reshare this again because it's going to appear in another screen. So let me try to share this again so you can actually see it. All right, so I'm not sharing. And let me put this over here. So what will actually come up, I'm going to share this again, is this document here. And I think I may have sent this to you guys already, but this is the NR 341 Complex Health Clinical Schedule. So this is the names, of course, the dates and times and days that they are in clinical. This is when they are in SIM, which is for 6 hours roughly, right? This is just a little information about their clinical and when assignments are due and what documents are required, the dress code and all that. So I just decided to put everything in one spot to help you out here, help us all out. So as you can see, but let me increase the size of this because that's kind of small. My apologies. Let me take this away, this editing feature. So anyhow, so this is what it would look like, right? You see all the students here. I just used the students' last names, right? This would tell you, of course, well, this is a CRN number, my name, and please call me Richard, by the way. The location, which is Baptist Medical Center South. We're on ICU 8D on Mondays from 6:30 to 1900, and we're there weeks 2, 3. Well, actually, we're there 2, 3, and 2 and 3. We're in clinical. Well, for me, I am. For week 4, I'm actually in SIM, as you can see here, and week 6, I'm at St. Vincent's Medical Center, right? So 2 days I'm at Baptist South, and one day I'm at ICU. One of the reasons why we're doing some of our clinical back-to-back is because Baptist is instituting EPIC, which you probably already know. These are the 2 case studies that we usually work on in SIM. It's Naomi Reed and Susan Well, and I will be sending you this information so that you know what to do. Of course, what I wrote here is to your is to your discretion, of course. Let's see. This is another one of mine. I'm doing clinical 2 times a week for the first 3 weeks. And this is Professor McHugh. She has the Saturday group at Baptist Beaches. And this is yours, Professor Lake. So you got your name there. Baptist Medical Center downtown. You're on PCU Tower 4B. And I was supposed to do a dry run today, and I didn't. But anyway, So these are your students here. You have 8 total. That's the max that you can take. You're there on every Wednesday, week 1, 2, and 3. And then week 6, you're in SIM from 12 to 18:30. That's on August 10th. These are the dates here, the 6th, the 13th, and the 20th, and these are the times. All right. All right. So that's what that would look like. Now, let me show you what the clinical documentation will look like. So over here, you can go into clinical documentation, and the students for the first clinical, they will have to do this one here, the level 3 direct patient care documentation. And so you click on that, and hopefully you can still see that. Sometimes I just have to reshare it because with Teams on, well, on Teams, sometimes if you just kind of have to keep resharing rather. So actually, so I can make sure you can see this, I'm going to reshare just to make sure. All right. So this is the level 3 documentation, level 3 names, the D number, the date, the course, and of course the session and year. This is like July, August, and then the year. And they don't have to fill out this entire document because it's 10 pages total, as you can see up here. But whatever is applicable, right, they have to fill out the information. All right, and they're just doing it on one patient. We're just doing this once on that first day. So they have to fill out this information here, right? So some of it they'll be able to find, and others not so much. And of course, we know that it's very difficult for students to gain access to the system unless they really have a nice nurse who's allowing them to do it. Sometimes the nurse also will print the information for them, and so they can just glean as much information from that as possible. So this is what this looks like, right? Now, there's another document here. This is the level 3 clinical learning evaluation that they have to do. So they have to, this is just the evaluation for clinical that they have to fill out weekly. They can either fill in the S's. Well, of course, if they're not satisfactory, then you may need to fill that out. But typically, because everyone seems to do well, they put in their own S's and whatnot. I put my signature and all that. So this is what they'll have to do, whatever week they're in. They have to fill this out because what they're going to do is upload this in the 8th week. Some students try to upload it weekly, but I find it's just better to just upload it in the last week, the 8th week of the semester. So again, this is all the information they would have to fill out. Typically, your signature and the date will go here on this page and this page here, these 2 pages here. All right. So just take a look at that document. It's the clinical learning evaluation, level 3 clinical courses. Now, as I mentioned, this will be just for the first day, the first day of their clinical, right? Subsequent clinical that they attend, they will be doing it's probably better for them to do their reflection documentation in the same document that they have their Soapy Note. What I mean by that is, so let me go ahead and share this Soapy Note. And let me increase the size. So this is an example of the Soapy Note that they have to perform, and they should be looking at this so that they can provide this as an example. Well, this is an example for them, but they should use this example to do their own documentation. So you have your subjective, objective, assessment, planning, and evaluation. And then down at the bottom or so, they can do their reflection. The reflection should be at least double spaced, at least 3/4 of the page of the page. If you don't tell them that, they'll just do maybe maybe a couple of lines and they're done. So we need to make them work a little. But so that's why at least a double space instead of single space. So anyway, any subsequent clinical, they have to do a Soapy Note on one patient, and then of course the reference, not reference, the reflection a document for that day. Now, I will tell you that clinical is a bit different than what it used to be, in my opinion. And this, you might be used to this, but when I get to clinical, I talk to the charge nurse and they tell me which nurses can take on a student. Some take on two, most take on one. And so the student will go with that nurse. Once we're done with our pre-conference, we'll go upstairs. They'll put their stuff up in the locker, come back out, get with their nurse, and they're pretty much taking care of helping the nurse take care of those patients, but they're focused on at least one patient. They select a patient that, hopefully it will be relative or related rather to what we're discussing in lecture. All right, so we're discussing heart failure that week. It'd be nice if they can choose a heart failure patient. So that's pretty much how I do that part. And of course, I give them their lunch and tell them what time to be back. And I try to be a little flexible with the lunch because everybody can't go to lunch at the same time, being that some students might be busy with their nurse. And so they may have to stay on the floor a little longer. But they pretty much know as a group what time they want to go to lunch, and I give them that time, give them at least an hour or so, because they have to deal with the lines and all that. And then I take them off the floor at about 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. roughly. You know, unless there's something that's going on for a particular patient that the student wants to see. Let's say at 5:30, I may tell them, go ahead. If you want to hang that hyperal, you can go ahead and help them hang it. Learn something about that, and then they can join us downstairs. But anyway, that's up to you. Most of the time, students are just leaving the floor at 5 o'clock, and they feel like it's like work and they want to get off the floor as fast as possible. So I sort of kind of don't blame them, but you know how it is. Anyway, so this is a Soapy Note, and of course, again, the reflection will go on maybe on the second page for that. All right. This is the Soapy Note guidelines here. Hopefully you can see that as well. This is what it should look like. The instructions that students should be reading so that they can understand and give back to us what the instructions entail. Excuse me. Let's see what else. I want to say, let me go back here. I thought I had uploaded some of the maps. Let me go here. There were some maps for Baptist downtown that I don't quite see at the moment for some reason. I'll see if I can go ahead and upload that again because I was sent some maps and I thought I uploaded it and I do not see it for some reason, which is a bit odd. All right. So I will take a look at that and get that uploaded for you. Yeah, I don't see it in any of these things. All right. Now I will be up. Well, let's see. So we're downtown. There's plenty of parking downtown, but I usually park at the parking garage that is closest to I-95. And I want to say that's P2, if I'm not mistaken. Um, let's see. So that's the documentation. So let me show you in the grade book where the students will upload this information. All right. They typically upload it in, let's say, for example, if they have clinical in week 1, where you see excused here, this is for those students who do not have clinical that week. And we have several students who are supposed to go to clinical on Monday, but Monday was a holiday, and so they have to make that day up another time. And so they are, or they will be excused this day. But for the other students, so what you would do is you would click on week 1, right? And then you would click on speed grader, all right? And then let's say for Mr. Enoch, say if he was one of your students, his work would be uploaded here, and you can read the information, right? And then you can come over here and it'll be the complete, incomplete, or excused. You may want to even add a little comment, but you have to make sure you click on submit. All right. Go to the next student, same thing. This one is excused, of course, but you enter in whether it be complete, incomplete, excused. Well, in your case, because I think I went through the whole thing and did the excused students for each week. And then, of course, you would enter your comments if need be. And so that's how that will look. Now, I did that on someone, of students who haven't submitted anything, but let's say if I went to another class, my previous class, and I go to grades, right? And let's see, here where it says clinical learning assignments, I click on it. And right here, I will click on speed grader. And for this student, well, let's see, let me go to the first one. Well, this one actually, they have the level 3 documentation, as you'll see. So you can see the level 3 documentation for the first week is what the students have here. And you see how the instructor put in some comments and it was completed. But let's go back. I want to, so that's the first week. Of course, you know, that's the only thing that they have to submit then is the level 3 documentation. I wanted to go to one where they submitted their Soapy Note. So let me kind of go out a little further. Let's try week 6. So week 6, you go to Speed Grader. Let's see. All right. So this is a student here, right, where they have their Soapy Note over here. You see the Soapy here? And of course, they put their reflection in a different document, but I say just put it in one document, just make it one. And then the reflection is here, and this is what the student wrote here, right? And so you just come over here, put in the grade, well, completion, incomplete, and so forth, and then your comments if need be. I think that's it as far as that's concerned. Now, if you wanted to look at, let's see, where is it? If you wanted to look at what I'm covering per week, and I think I already sent this information to you. If you go to, let's see, well, actually, let me go up to the other one. So you go to File again, and then click on Clinical Documents, not clinical, Course Documents. And so, and actually, I don't know why it's not, let me try clinical. All right, so for some reason, some of my information didn't upload, and I don't know why. So let me just go back to one of my previous class and show you what I'm talking about. So if you go to File, and then to clinical information. This is my clinical schedule here, and actually I have to click on the download link and then open that back up. I'm going to move this over here, and then I'll reshare again just in case, because I want you to be able to see it. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the one. Let's see. No, that's clinical schedule. Sorry. Where's my course schedule? All right, that's my course schedule. So before I do that, let me just go back and reshare this again just to make sure you can see it. All right. So this is my other class, but so right here, you'll see the May, June. This is May, June course schedule. Of course, we're now in July and August. So, but I'm just looking back at the previous course. So you click on it, and let me enlarge that. And so by the week, this is what we are, the key concepts that students are going over, that me and the students and myself are going over. All right, like your mechanical ventilation, ARTS, inflammatory cascade, ABGs, dysrhythmias, and STEMIs, non-STEMIs, shock versus, or rather shock, hypertensive crisis, and so forth. And so all the way down to the bottom here. This is where I just provided page numbers for the different concepts for them. Believe it or not, sometimes they don't seem to pay that any attention. Anyway, so this just gives you an idea of what we are discussing in class. And I think that's about it, what you pretty much need to know. And I'll see if I can get these documents uploaded again, because for some reason they did not upload. I'll go ahead and get this out to you. If you have any questions, just give me either text. I'm at 904 487 8385, or you can send me an email as well. And again, welcome. Talk to you soon.